Hello everyone, Space Oyster here, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age. In the last episode, we were trying to get through the Golmore jungle to make it to Mount Omises, but we got stopped. Fran led us to the Eru village, where she is actually from, and we learned that the forest... well, no, we didn't learn why the forest is keeping us out, but we did learn that her sister, Mjrn, is off in the Henne Mines, so that's where we're gonna go. Off screen, I did grind a bit. Everyone is in new armor, and they have new gear. Let's see, I should show off some of that. Balthier got a non-elemental sword, so I switched his gambit back. I might need to play around with Vaughn's gambits, because his spear for dealing with flying enemies is lightning elemental. And let's see. And then Ash got a storm staff, which boosts the amount of damage she does with the lightning element. So I changed up her gambits to reflect that. So now she's going to try and use Thundaga a lot, as well as mostly relying on it, pretty much. Anyway, in this episode, we're gonna make our way to the Henne, or Hen. I forget how they pronounced it. They might bring it back up again. It might just be one of those weird pronunciations. It's spelled Henne. And during grinding, I got partway through every one of the guys leveling up. So that's why Fran's out here, but we still have Bosch and Vaughn. So the ladies all surpassed them in levels, but the guys are still catching up. Although the guys are starting to get ahead, so back to the girls. And I forgot I'm supposed to be running around as Larsa because he's the guest, and I want to show that off. Also, I did forget to show off where the map location for this area is. Don't worry, it's not off the beaten path. It's just down here. Stupid mortals. We're gonna have to wake Bosch up, aren't we? Oh, hold on. Give me just a second. Alright, and we're back. Okay, searching for the Prince's Kiss. There it is. Yeah, since the Morbles here cause sleep and slow, I figured I'd set Fran up to cure that. Anyway, it's right here. Oh, sorry, I keep hearing things in the background. I think my heater's on the fritz. I had it turned all the way off, and it just started going again. I don't know if that's going to stay in the final cut. I don't know. I'm going to try and edit it out, though, because it was loud. Yeah, the map was right down there. Just take a quick right if you're sticking to the north at the first turn, and you're good. I love having access to Asuna. So handy. Another bad thing about Petrify, I think, is that it actually also inflicts a steady slow on your character. So if you don't cure it, your characters get slower and slower until they just turn to stone and instantly die. Super fun. As for other things, I finished watching this anime Fate Apocrypha, and it was okay, I guess. I'm gonna touch the save crystal first. Save crystal! No need to save, though. Alright, so I tried to limit my grinding to the Golmore jungle, because I would have felt bad just running past these guys. Traveler, have you a potion on you? My friend is badly wounded. I fear that, untreated, he'll die. Please, just one potion. Thank you. I'm in your debt. Thanks to you, my friend's life is saved. We are in your debt, sir. We fled here from the Henne Mines. We were attacked, you see. It was all we could do to make it this far. We'll rest here until my friend's wounds have had a chance to heal. If you like, we could lend you the use of the chocobo until then. There's a lot of terrain around here which can't be accessed without a chocobo. You let me know when you need one. Yeah, I would have felt bad running through this area without talking to that guy. Plus, I don't know if getting past this area would have caused it to trigger as me not giving him a potion. Oh shit, I should have read that. Okay, so he was actually talking about a feature in this game that only comes up starting now, I think. If you see chocobo prints on the ground like this here, that means you're in an area that a chocobo can come through. And that leads to secret areas on the map or just shortcuts. Either way, super handy. Since this is my first time on a chocobo, I guess I could talk a little bit about the mechanics. You are only allowed on them for a limited amount of time. You see there I'm down to 150 seconds. And you get 3 fruits on the screen, I guess, that represent the number of times you can sprint. It's kind of similar to riding a horse on The Legend of Zelda, but the fruits stay permanently gone, unlike the carrots in The Legend of Zelda. Anyway, here is our destination. It wasn't that far like Larsa made it seem.
Researchers from the Draclaw laboratory. What were they doing here?
Research.
Yeah, that's not ominous at all. Lead the charge, Larsa! I guess there's one small thing I could talk about Final Fantasy XII related. That would be the Mjrn. There's actually quite a bit I could say about the Mjrn. The first thing, though, and the most important, well, probably not the most important, anyway, is that the Mjrn, at first glance, it would seem like they're female only, but that's actually not true. There are male Mjrn, they just segregate themselves, so the men and women live in separate villages. We never get to see male Mjrn in this game. They probably didn't even design them, or they just had to save time and leave them out. But that's the reason why we don't see male Mjrn, is because they're in separate villages and we don't get to see them. And then the other thing about the Mjrn is that with the MMO Final Fantasy XIV, they were actually considering adding the Mjrn as the newest race to the game instead of the one that we got, the Aura. I probably mispronounced that horribly. But they decided against using the Mjrn and went with the Aura instead because the Mjrn have really tough to draw feet. I think it was the feet. And they were having issues getting everything to work with their feet. That, and they would have also needed to put out the male Mjrn designs. Oh, what's this guy doing here? I managed to escape. I don't know how, but I did. You must be careful. The mines, they're not safe. How could we have known? So when you're in this room, you don't have to press this switch, but if you do, it leads to the map. So I would recommend pressing it once, although doing so causes flans to appear. Or, sorry, jellies. If you have a red or black mage, they can make short work of these guys no problem, especially since they're weak to fire, and you just got a fire rod. Well, not just got, but yeah, you can use the fire rod to make short work of all these guys. And coming to think of it, they're doing a lot of dividing, so maybe I should just run away. They tried to confuse Bosch, but they wore it off right away. Hilarious! Nah, we're getting them down. We got this. We got this. Hey, Lars is immune to poison. Neat. I did not know that. And we got more coming. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and run away. Yeah, I would highly recommend if you want to fight all those flans, bring someone who can take them all down at once. Red Battle Mage, Black Mage, whoever can use Fyra. One small job-related thing I never actually brought up, but I probably should have. It was the Ulan. Ulan actually does get access to a little bit of black magic, about mid-game black magic, but I never really brought it up when talking about job combinations or job abilities because, well, they can't really do much with their black magic on their own, and it's really not worth pairing them with a mage job and putting them in mystic armor just to use it. It's mostly just some mid-game, late-game spells like Firaga and a few area of effect status conditions like Poisona. So, doesn't really pan out that well, but it might be worth considering it or taking that into consideration when you're working on your own job combinations. Like, it might make Ulan a bit more favorable to pair with a Time Battle Mage as opposed to Foebreaker or Knight. I don't think they're gonna say the name of this place again. I know Larsa did, but I already forgot how he pronounced it. Anyway, now we have to go back into this room, and there are probably gonna be a lot more flans there. Sorry, jellies. But we don't have to fight them. Oh right, I forgot. Vaughn and Bosch both gain levels, so this should be easy now. Yeah, easy now is an understatement. Thanks, Ash. I really hope confusion doesn't work on us. One downside to Red Battle Mage is that they don't get Asuna. Red Battle Mage's white magic skills cut off right before they learn Asuna. It's really inconvenient. It's part of the reason why I kind of like pairing it up with Monk. Monk does learn, I think, Asuna or Asunaga. I think it's Asuna. But it's a non-issue. But since both Knight and Monk learn an Asuna-related skill, I can just make sure I pair up Penelo with either Balthier or Ash, and I'll always have access to Asuna when I need it. Might be handier to have Balthier use it over Ash, since that could go bad pretty quickly. Anyway, when you get to after you go down that pathway there, you enter here, and we should start running into some mimics again. Not the battery mimic kind, but they should be the kind that hides themselves as treasure chests. And then as for other things, I got that newest Kirby game, Star Allies. It's pretty fun so far, but a little very easy. Like any challenge that would come from a usual Kirby game, such as trying to make sure you keep your power-ups through a whole level, that's pretty much gone. You can just keep a group of allies with you that carry whatever powers you're gonna need, and you never have to worry about not having the right one in the right situation again. Also, their bold new idea to evolve the concept of Kirby was to combine powers, because they haven't already done that. think the Henne Mines here, they're the first example of hidden areas. That is to say, areas that don't show up on the map, period, that you can explore. Everyone got hit with Petrify. Here we go, treasure. A dark moat. Yeah, Penelope, you start with yourself when you do that. You're the healer, and if the healer goes down, we're all screwed. Silly Penelope. I don't think it's down that way. I don't know exactly where that hidden path is at. Ow. I do know one thing, though. I really cannot wait to get a float, so that way that's a non-issue. Stupid traps. And I guess I could have just walked around, but I didn't really want to, or care. I don't know where that hidden path is. I might find it eventually, though. Anyway, my evil plan with Kirby Star Allies is to post a review of it. I would love to do video game criticism / journalism. And that feels like a good way to segue into it. I'm taking down notes and I'm recording most of my gameplay. There's the hidden path. Right there on the map. And it's got bats. Ugh. These traps are just annoying. Who put them there? There it is. A mage's habit. What would a mage's habit be? We're already wearing them. What am I doing? I don't know. Some joke about drug abuse. Yeah, that's about all I got, really. But I like having Ash mostly using spells like this. It really capitalizes on the whole power motif thing she's got going. To have her so effortlessly trounce all these enemies. Although I'm probably going to regret that later when she's too slow to actually deal damage if I need a DPS check. Or if I have to just have her stop using spells entirely and whip out a pole. Like, I know that goes against what I was saying about not pairing up your mages with your melee builds, but Monk is a rare exception in that they actually get access to things. She's one-shotting these nightmares. Oh, that's a pun. I get it now. It's a nightmare. Sorry, I love puns. Can't believe I didn't get that. Like, that's not the first time I've seen an enemy named a nightmare. Like, I think the first time I ever saw nightmares was in, Lost Kingdoms, the grandmother of Dark Souls. Although, Nightmare in that was kind of useless. It was just a creature that spits out poison occasionally, and otherwise it just stands there being a meat shield. In here, though, they're exclusively enemies. Oh, thank God it didn't teleport. Alright, let's see. Treasure right here. Is this another mimic? Mimics here are actually quite tough. I was not expecting that. No, but we are going the right way. I suppose you could technically call this a dungeon, since it does have a puzzle in the form of those switchboards. But that's kind of insulting to the term, to be honest. Well, then again, some dungeons are alright when they're just gauntlets of enemies, and that's, well, that is pretty much every dungeon in Final Fantasy XII, at least it's something. Let's see, that was a bone crusher, right? Wait, what? Where is it? Oh, that was the Technic Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher, let's see, that what that does is you trade your HP to try and take your enemy out in one hit. Basically, it's a one-hit kill that kills you in return. It's not worth using. Just ignore it. Yeah, by the name of it, I thought it was an axe. I don't know how every single time I pick that Technic up, I always think, oh hey, that's a new axe for whoever my Foebreaker is, and nope, Technic. I mean, I guess Foebreaker technically learns it. I just realized one other thing I forgot to bring up in my job episode. It's that there are 6 jobs that hit the speed cap, as it were. That is to say, they get all 3 tiers of the swiftness augment. Those 6 jobs would be the 3 ranged ones, Archer, Machinist, and Time Battle Mage. But Monk and Shikari and Bushi also get all 3 tiers. Monk's 2nd and 3rd tier of swiftness are locked behind Esper unlocks, but if you have if you have it paired up with a job that gets access to 2, you can get access to all 3 on the Monk without having to invest in whatever Esper that is. So Ash should be able to get her full swiftness without me using up that Esper, because I think Black Mage and White Mage both get 2. Of course, if you are doing a 1-job playthrough, then that's not something to worry about. And even with that in consideration, you don't really have to get everyone to their max speed. Okay, I think, yeah, the one on the right was... I thought the one on the left was. But no, it looks like the mimics here are just a lighter color than the regular chests. Good to know if you want to avoid them. Never mind, I was wrong. They were both mimics. But like in most games with mimics, I highly recommend just killing them all and getting all their stuff. Maybe not in Dark Souls. I hate fighting mimics in Dark Souls. But sometimes they drop good stuff too. Like that super nice hat. One good thing about the bats here is that since these are caves and tunnels and the whatnot, they can't fly off the map. So you don't have to worry about the bats doing what they did in the Tomb of Wraithwall. Excuse me. And running off onto the part of the map that you can't reach them. Makes bats less annoying. But sadly, that was not the last time we're going to be seeing the bats in an area where they can just be annoying. And as for a small thing with Fran, I'm a little torn about what to do with her for ranged weapons. Don't know if I should stick to crossbows or have her use hand bombs as soon as I find them. Anyway, this area right here is very important to keep in mind. This is an AFK grinding spot. It's the first one you come across and is the easiest of the 2 I know of to take it full advantage of. If you kill these flans with the spell Break, you have to be a Time Battle Mage, then they keep spawning indefinitely. So you just need to set up your characters to be able to keep themselves healthy while the Black Mage deals with... let's see. I have something that can cure that, right? Yeah, you just need to get a party set up that makes you immune to confusion and allows your Time Battle Mage to cast Break on all the flans, and then you just leave the game running for however long it takes for them to hit max level, and BAM! You're at max level. Although I think you only need one item that prevents confusion. It's definitely the easiest of the two AFK grinding places, but it's also the more restrictive because you have to put someone as a time battle mage, and I can understand that some people may not want to. It's a niche job, and if you didn't want to take it because you don't see much point, that's perfectly understandable. I don't know how these T-Rexes got underground like this. Like, were they born down here? Were they imported? Did they find an entrance through did they come in through one of the other entrances to the Henne Mines that are littered about the world? Well, who cares? Fran gained a level, so we're gonna swap her out for Balthier. And then we gotta go around this way this time. Yeah, that was pretty much the whole puzzle. You just have to go through this room, go to that room with the switchboard and the jellies, and then just walk around this way to get to the entrance to the room we need to go to. Okay, and I know most of my episodes run long anyway, but I'm going to continue that trend and let this episode run a little bit longer too. Well, you know what? Scratch that. Never mind. There's a cutscene that plays, so I'll just save and end the episode after this.
Look at the Magicite. These mines much resemble the ones at Lusu. Of course, Draklor must be searching for new sources of ore. Should the Resistance forces move, the rich veins of Magicite and Mjrn will be forever beyond their grasp.
Is it her? What is this mist? Mjrn.
The stench of fumes. The stench of power. What's wrong with her?
Stay away! Power-needy Hume!
Yeah, that's not creepy at all. And if it wasn't obvious from the save crystal right here, and the fact that she went off into a big empty room, it's the boss fight up ahead. So I'm gonna go ahead and save here, and I'll leave that for next time, since we're running low on time here anyway. So next time on the Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age, we'll go into that room and fight whatever boss is awaiting us, and continue on with the story. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment and to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Space Oyster signing out.